Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
This
guys.
is a bit of a different live stream today because Hannah was kidnapped and replaced with Sarah, and I am also not wearing any eyelashes. So this is the first time
was kidnapped and replaced.
Oh shit! Wait,
with Sarah, and I am also
do
not
you
wearing
have
any
the
eyelashes.
do you have the YouTube open in the background, or is that me?
That's you.
One sec. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I was like, what is echoing?
What is happening?
Oh, I always do that.
Bruh.
Anyways, yes, I don't have eyelashes on. I just wasn't feeling it today, but I'm still awake and ready to go. So that's fun. Juliana should be here in a second. How has Sarah been recently?
Busy. I mean, so I just finished finals last night. I literally submitted my last paper, and guess what it was about? It was about Russia and Ukraine. So I submitted that, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm finally a college senior. So I've been busy, been working.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have you been in school for 4 years? I feel like you just like finished it really fast.
Bro, I've been in college. So I've been in college for about 4 years now. The reason why I'm behind is because I changed my major from pre-med to poli-sci.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe I'm just like literally retarded and like I can't imagine like working as much as you do and being able to go to school. Like I used to take 3 classes and work part-time, and I was like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. And that's when I realized I was supposed to be a housewife. So it's fine. Working hard is not for
I'm so tempted to just become a housewife at this point. Like, what's in everything?
You like I get so bored at home. Like I have the dog, which is great now, but like I still be getting bored. I'm like, I need to go to work just to give me something to do. I can't imagine you being a housewife. You would like go crazy. You would like be out protesting every day or something. Because
I do miss protesting. Like I know it's just the medical freedom community in New Jersey is not that motivated anymore because they were all motivated to get Murphy out. But
right,
they're like the medical freedom movement in New Jersey is not just only the youth, but it's like all these moms, right?
Oh,
but now
yeah.
kids are back to school, so it's kind of like a lot of people are kind of unmotivated. So there's a few of us still.
I think the main thing for like California was when there was the vaccine mandates going on, and then they kind of just dropped those everywhere, and it was like, okay, well, people don't really care as much. But I do think that Gavin is still requiring it for like kids, so I'm sure parents are a little bit more like, oh yeah, let's fucking not poison my child. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on in California these days. I've been minding my business in the beautiful state of Missouri.
And I'm jealous. Actually, Missouri
is here. Yeah, it's a really fucking base state. And it's cool because it's like it's very diverse. Like there's a lot of there's not a lot of Asian people, but there's a lot of black people, a lot of white people. There's like Trump flags, and then there's like gay pride flags. Like you get a little bit of everything. It's really
sounds like New Jersey.
Yeah, and you can wear like a Trump sweater around here and like not get beat up. I've done it a few times. Not really like even trying to make a statement, just like, oh, it's the sweater that's wearing. Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, no. Missouri's a fucking psyop. No offense. It does not exist.
It is. Well, because I'll just like drive around and I'm just like, this is such like I don't want to like talk up Kansas City because like I don't want people to move here because like we're full. Like I don't want to the city, but like it's so cool because there's so many suburbs and you'll like drive between suburbs and it's like so pretty and there's so many trees, and then all of a sudden there's like a fucking giant Walmart right there and you're like, whoa, I'm not in the middle of nowhere. It's great. I love it.
Fucking Walmart.
Missouri is the best.
Where I work, there is like it's so weird because the district I'm working in right now is currently hi Juliana.
Hi babies.
Yeah. We're just talking about New Jersey and Missouri. Missouri's a psyop, and then New Jersey is such a weird diverse state because where I work it's like all farmlands and then it turns into suburbs. It's so weird.
That's how a lot of Texas is. Like, so Juliana, do you post what city in Texas you're in, or do you like not share that?
No, I do.
Okay, so I know you're in San Antonio. Okay, so like it's weird though because Texas is so fucking big, right? Like, do you really travel outside of San Antonio a lot, or are you kind of just like
Um,
there?
yes and no. It depends on it depends like I mean if I have like shit going on in other cities.
Right.
When I had my big girl job, I was literally going all over Texas, but now that I am uh you know, not with that organization anymore, I yeah, no, I don't really go outside of San Antonio a lot because I mean I don't really have to. But
Right.
if I do, it's like to Austin, which is only about an hour, hour and a half away, depends on traffic. Um, or like, you know, I was just in not New Braunfels. I'm sorry, I'm literally so tired. I was just in Dallas.
I
Like
like Dallas.
yeah,
I think I don't know. I
okay.
was only there for one night.
It's okay. I mean, like, it's fine.
Ghetto.
I will say I prefer the drivers there and in Houston than in San Antonio because San Antonio
Oh yeah, I've never
drivers
been to
cannot
Houston.
fucking drive to save their lives. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been all over the United States and I have never, ever, ever genuinely believed that like I could get into a car accident every single time I get in my car. Like people here, they don't even drive fast. The thing is, they
They
drive
just sound
fucking
bad.
slowly. They go 60 and a 65
Right.
on the
Like,
freeway.
there's just some people who are like bad drivers. Like
No,
I'm like a decent driver for a woman. I really am. Like
I,
everybody wants to like roast, like, but no, like I actually can drive pretty well.
Me
And
too, except I run over curbs, but you know, it's okay.
it's normal. Like the curb shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, what is a curb doing on a road?
Bro, the curbs are just terrible.
All right, they're getting in your way. But I've heard that like Texas has like the worst drivers ever. So
I would
maybe
say
that's
San
true.
Antonio. I don't think Texas drivers are bad, like at
Right.
all.
Well, do you think it's like people not from Texas, or is it like, you know,
I think it's
people
people
Californians?
I think it's people who actually are born and raised here. Only
Mm.
because I asked my teammates when I was in undergrad. I asked some of my teammates like, you know, literally what the fuck, like you know, what are the requirements for y'all's driver's ed? Like, what is this? Because I know that in California, it's like, what is it? It's like if you don't use your blinker, if you don't check over your shoulder,
Hi,
and
Ted.
like all of that stuff, like, um,
Hi, terribly tactical.
it's an automatic fail. It's not points lost. It's an automatic fail.
Oh yeah, no, like California, I think it's see, you know, I'm like super anti-government, but there are some things that I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't think we should abolish driver's licenses. Like I'm more comfortable on the road knowing that like people have a driver's license. I think
That's
there's some
true.
things that are like okay. Now, could we privatize a DMV? That's a whole different fucking story. You know what I mean? But like, yes, I do like the fact that people need to pass a driver's test in order to get behind the wheel of a car because that can
Yeah.
kill somebody and it is a dangerous vehicle. Like vehicles are dangerous if you don't know how to drive them or if you do know how to drive them. So yeah, I'm all for a very like hard to pass driving test and maybe it's
I mean, like,
way too easy to pass.
you're literally operating machinery. So, like, you know, it's not like it's that deep, in my opinion.
No, it's really not. Like there's way other issues in the government that we need to worry about besides Lilbert's complaining about.
Yeah, mind you, like the whole
Who was
concept
it that
of,
ran
like,
for president? I think it was Gary Johnson, and like there was like a libertarian debate, and apparently he had made a comment that was like, "Well, you know, I do think that people should have to get a driver's license," and like some people booed him, and I was like,
That's so dumb. Okay, here's the thing.
"This looks
that.
so bad. This makes us look."
This is
so
why
bad."
no one takes libertarians seriously.
No,
Like, I'll
literally.
be very honest with you. There's a reason why they keep on losing their fucking races. Like, y'all just need to understand that no one takes you seriously.
Your presidential candidate, who is probably the only decent candidate, and boo him over saying that, well, I do think that driver's licenses people should have the like you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Driver's licenses are fine. Like let's focus on some of the other issues. For example, to get into our next topic, like, inflation.
Oh God,
Fucking
Biden inflation.
Biden inflation. It's fucking eating me alive. And like, I don't think, oh, Fuck you, bitch. I thought I killed it and then it flew out of my hand.
I
Anyway,
thought that was Gabby.
I didn't realize like how expensive things were until like, okay, one, my car got stolen back when I was in California.
I remember
Kind of
this.
talked about that. I've been driving a rental for almost a month. So I'm going to have to give that rental back. And like, I'm just waiting for the insurance company to call me and be like, hey, you need to take the rental back. They haven't yet. So I'm going to keep driving it. So I need to get a new car. I'm not really trying to get like a cheap, shitty car because I want to have kids and we have a dog. We want to get like, I need a nice car. You know what I mean? I don't want some like piece of shit car. So I'm looking at a fucking Honda CRV, like a Honda CRV. It's just
like
a Honda.
CRV or a 4Runner. I have a CRV.
Right.
I love her.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so jealous. Yeah.
love
I just want like a
Lexus.
good CRV. I would love to get like a Lexus, you know, SUV, but like I want an SUV because one, I'm big. Noah's big, right? Like we need a bigger car.
Yeah.
So Honda CRV, like a 2018 is like $30,000. And like, I'm just like, why the fuck are cars so expensive right now? And it's like, it's fine. Like I have money for a down payment, but I remember the last car that I got was in 2016. I was like 18 years old. It was just a Honda Accord and it was only like 4 years old at the time. And it was like $17,000. And now I'm like, I'm shopping for a car that I understand is a little bit nicer than like a Honda Accord. Like it's a CRV, but like for the, it's just, it doesn't make sense that it's $30,000 right now. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm like, I have money. I have a down payment. It's not like we're fucking dirt poor, but it's like, seriously, I'm putting $10,000 down on a car and I still have to pay $600 a month for 4 years. Like that's fucking crazy for a car, like seriously. And so then that's when it hit me that like, wow, inflation is seriously up the ass right now because we also have to get our home fixed. We got to fix her up her home. Super fucking expensive at this point. I'm like, we honestly should have just gotten a mortgage on a nicer house because fixing this home up, it's like you have to do it all at once. You can't make payments unless you want to take out a bank loan. And I don't believe in those. So it's just like, holy shit, being an adult is fucking expensive. And like, I didn't really realize it because this is the first time I've ever like had to do like super adult things. And I'm just like, how the fuck do people afford to live? Like now I know how people like parents felt in like the 2008 recession. I'm like, I'm literally living that right now.
Bro, facts.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
the major
awful.
problem is that we have fucking Congress out here passing bills without reading them. Like, look at like they're trying to pass the
It's always been like that.
400 billion, sorry, 400 billion, right? Like bill to aid Ukraine. We should not be aiding foreign.
I'm like, dude, fucking
should not.
aid me. First of all,
Look what's happening. People can't even afford like what's it
even-
called? Baby formula.
No, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's like a whole other issue. It's like, and I understand that like a car is a luxury and I could go just buy some like piece of shit car, but there was cars on the app, cars.com. A 1998 Camry was $5,000. I was
Yeah,
like,
my
are you
Honda
fucking
CRV.
serious?
My Honda CRV is a 2002. It had 145,000 miles on it, and it's in, I mean, extremely good condition.
Yeah.
But it was over 7,000,
It's crazy. When did you buy your car?
and I got it in March because I was in
Yeah,
a really
there
bad
is
car
no
accident
reason
at the end
that
of
a car
January.
that is over 10 years old should be that. And then that car's 20 years old. There is no reason a 20-year-old car, unless it's like some vintage cars, should be over like 5,000, 6,000.
$5,000.
Like it's just fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. And it's just like, I don't know how any normal everyday people are like supposed to survive this. And it's not even like Noah doesn't work a bad job. Like we just both work, you know, in Missouri, you make like 18, 19 an hour, you're good. I'm obviously not working right now, but the jobs that I'm applying for, it's like 15, 16 an hour. And it's like, that should be livable in Missouri. There is no reason that a couple making a dual income of around $70,000 to $80,000 a year like should have to worry about paying bills and being able to get a new car because yours gets stolen. And it's like, what the fuck? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I just
no,
like,
agreed.
why is it so bad? I mean, I know everyone wants to say because like the lockdowns and like money got printed and like Trump what 3 trillion under his, but it's like really like there has to be something else besides just.
Well, it's also, I mean, it's mostly, I mean, we're feeling now the aftermath of all of the, what is it? The fucking
Stimulus checks?
Stimulus checks That's
Yeah.
what it is. Because I mean, like,
That would
we
have been
release
in like
more money.
4 billion he printed, right?
Yeah, and so we're obviously, like, the first stimulus check, like, sure, whatever, not a problem, I guess. I mean, it would be a problem, but we wouldn't be experiencing such an inflation crisis at almost 9% if, like, we'd stopped after one, max two stimulus checks. And, like, I just, dude, I'm not, it fucking pisses me off because, like, one, feeling the consequences of all of these, stimuli, I guess, this, financial stimuli. It's, bro, it doesn't hurt anyone but the lower and middle class.
Yes.
It doesn't hurt
Literally,
anyone but them.
it doesn't.
It
And
helps them,
it
it helps
doesn't even
them
hurt the poor
temporarily.
people. The poor people are still getting welfare. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it hurts
Exactly.
the middle class, like a young couple like me and Noah just trying to fucking make ends meet, repair, and like I'll put money out there. Like, I don't mind sharing our life. So like we had to fix our water pipes because we got basically a house handed to us from his grandparents. The house is a fucking disaster. Okay, there is nothing in that house that works. It is a hoarder set. It is trash. Long story. Okay, so the water was leaking. So the water's been shut off for years. So in order for them to give us the house, it was like, sure, you guys have to fix everything in it, So we're fixing the water pipes. That's just $6,000, which is fine. That's normal. But we had to take out a loan on it because I'm like, I don't want to use like all of my not all of my savings, but I don't want to use like I don't want to spend $6,000 right now. So it's like we have to take out a loan.
If you refinance your house, that might help. But I mean, you said you guys aren't paying a mortgage, or no?
No, we're not paying a mortgage. So it's basically like his grandma still owns the house, and he's on the deed because when his grandparents pass away, the house is going to be his house.
Yeah.
So we're like, why the fuck are we just letting a house 10 minutes away sit there when we could go live in it, and like move to the basement? So it really, like, long term, it is going to be a good investment, but it's like in order to make the house livable, we have to spend like $20,000, and that's just to fix the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom bedroom. $20,000. And that's because no one knows how to do everything. That's just on parts. If we had to hire someone to help us, that shit would probably be like $50,000-$60,000 just to fix 4 rooms. But thankfully, he knows how to do everything.
In all honesty, what year was the house built? Do you guys know?
Oh, it was only built in 1974, so it's not even that old.
Oh, my house is older. Mine was actually built in 1912.
Because I was like, I know there's houses that were built like 100 years ago, and they're still like, but it's not an old house. It's just the condition of the house is so much worse because it wasn't taken care of in its later years.
Yeah.
Because his grandparents are older and whatnot. And so it's just, a lot of it is just internal. Like, we got to rip up the carpets. We got to take off the paneling on the walls. It needs new flooring just because we don't want fucking yellow floors in our kitchen,
In all honesty, dude, I feel like, mind you, I've only, landed in the Missouri airport. I've never actually like been and seen Missouri, but I feel like the cost of living, obviously you can like correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the cost of living out there is so much cheaper.
It is.
Than it is.
Mind you, housing market, obviously not great. However, I feel like you could definitely get a house out there, like a beautiful, luxurious house for $200,000.
You can. And that, like, my perception of housing is so fucked up because
I would honestly get a new house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spend a dime in the place you guys live right now.
The problem is, like, that's going to be our house one day anyway. So it's like, we might as well put the money in it and fix it up now so we can use it as a rental one day. But it's like,
True.
We were walking around and we ended up in the nicer part of the neighborhood when we were walking the dog. Like the nicer part of still like our suburb, which is like, and I was looking at the houses, I was like, oh my God, these houses are so nice. What do they cost? Like 700, 800,000. And he was like, oh no, probably around 350,000. And I was just like, what? Like, it's my perception of housing is so fucked up because of California.
Literally, it's
the same for New Jersey.
Yeah,
like, I don't hear of like when I hear of houses like up for like 300,000, I'm like, what? Because in New Jersey it's like 10 times more expensive than that. Rent is a fucking nightmare right now. I know so many people who are renting, they can't even afford gas.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So what would like the average, like, I'm trying to think of my house back in California. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then my parents converted the garage into a bedroom. So the house we have in, well, my parents have in the Bay Area now, my parents could get like 1.1 million for it. Is that like the same in New Jersey, or is it like not quite that inflated?
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I believe so, but all I know more about renting. So as of right now, I mean, our house would cost less than that because we got it when I was like what 13. So
Right.
I moved in here like when I was 13. So I've been living in this house since I was 13 years old. It wasn't even that expensive. So the cost of living is extremely high and people cannot even afford it.
Yeah. And that's just for like renting out like a room.
Renting in New Jersey is a freaking nightmare. I know so many people who are actually renting an apartment right now. It's disastrous.
Yeah. And it's just like not sustainable because it's like I don't know when things got so bad, but it's like why the fuck do people have to worry about working 2 jobs just to be able to like afford basic need? And I know that sounds like super fucking like liberal of me to say, but it's like well, I don't want the reason that it's this way is because the government got involved in the first place. Like just take the government out of this situation and I don't think it would have ever gotten this bad. Like, I don't want the government to pay for it. I want them to have never gotten involved in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. Like a lot. One and like I know that when I first moved to Texas, it was my perception of cost of living and housing was completely warped and distorted as well because I wasn't I mean the house that my family we live in right now, we moved to a different area of Northern California when I was like 10. And the house that my grandparents had gotten it for us because we were just like, financially so sorry, excuse me. We were just we were just not comfortable in any way whatsoever. There was 4 kids, like, we lived in a 1 bedroom, 2 bath, like it
Wow.
was like
Yeah.
initially, yeah, it was yeah, no, it was extremely hard. And my dad was like constantly in and out of employment because just shit was just not cool. And it's not, but I mean it's not like my dad's fault. It was just like
Well,
economically it was just not great.
Around the last recession or something, like in 2008, and
yeah, and so our grandparents, they gifted us that house, and they it's a well, let me think, it's a 1, 2, 3, it's a 4 bedroom 2 bath, and I forget the square footage, but they got it for 220
wow,
in 2008. 220. That was when the housing market was at its fucking lowest.
yeah,
And like, yeah, and I'm trying to think now. It's worth, I want to say anywhere from, I think it's like worth 700,000 now.
wow, intense.
Yeah, and exactly. And so when I first came here, I would see these like little, rundown rinky dinky houses. And I was like, oh shit, like, these places are probably worth at least like, 400,000 or 500,000, blah, blah, blah. Like, if they're like, I mean, measly, like rundown shitholes essentially. And then like, one of my friends and I, we just be looking on Zillow all the time.
Yeah,
and cause it's just fun.
Right.
But and I would see these like McMansions essentially in downtown San Antonio that are, if not the same price or cheaper than the house that my family and I are living back home.
Gosh.
Yes. And I like it's absolutely like it was an absolute mind fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you when I first came here because I was like, holy shit. Like, and I mean, obviously, like, in 2016 through 2020, the quality of life that we had here in Texas, I mean, like, chef's kiss, like, gas was cheap. I mean,
Yeah,
employment
I miss when
all-time
gas was
high.
cheap.
Like,
I guess normally like the price it is in Missouri is like normally it's so fucking high, and I'm like, this is the normal price in California like 2 years ago.
During the pandemic, gas got so cheap it was $1.13.
I
Wow.
remember this.
Yeah, and like this was in some areas like right on the outskirts of San Antonio, but even in the city, it was like $1.77.
Wow. That's
Yeah, and now it's $4. Now it's
That's
So
$4.
today, gas actually went up from at least 350. Well, okay, so a week ago it was actually at 350, so it wasn't a problem. Wait, no, it was at 390. What am I saying? Yeah, 390. And then it went up to 448. If you're gonna get plus, it's gonna go up to 484. So
and
I
that was
just
like overnight basically.
it was
Yeah,
it was
that's
insane. I looked at the gas prices like on gas today, I just started crying. I was like, no.
Up though, like I don't understand how it just keeps going up and up. Like it's
Because
we're
we're giving
well,
money
we're-
to all these fucking foreign
yeah, we're
countries,
we're
and
paying for the war in Ukraine.
but is
Ugh.
that the sole reason that it's
I mean,
going
it's not
up?
the sole reason.
no, yeah,
No,
it's
it's
like
not
right.
that.
It just doesn't make so much fucking sense. Like even if Trump, it was solely his fault printing that 4 trillion during the lockdowns and shit. It's like that just does not seem to me like it could have been the sole reason that everything is so expensive.
No,
Because
it's
I
not.
think
It's also
maybe like a 5% inflation at the most. But this
Yeah.
is just like fucking out of hand. I mean,
it's almost
flights
9%.
home
Yeah.
were, like I was looking at flights home, and it was like I was flying to Kansas City. We booked a last minute flight for me to come out here one more time before Noah came to me in California, and then we drove back. It was like $500, like
Yeah.
$550, and that was like 6
Yup.
months ago. And now for me to get back to California anytime in the next 3 months, it's at least $700. So flight prices have increased by like 30%. I'm like, how
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck am I
because of
supposed to go
fuel.
visit my family?
Yeah, it's because of fuel. And
Because of fuel.
you know, and like now we have to import all of our fuel because, you know, all of our fucking pipelines are getting shut down. I mean, one was just shut down in fucking Alaska like 2 days ago. And
Maybe
so
that's
now
why it went up.
and so gas is about to go up again. And it's about to continue to rise because we're no longer, you know, resourcing anything domestically. And so when you know, you're going to have to pay all these tariffs, you're going to have to pay all, you know, all these ridiculous amounts of unnecessary you know, money just to, you know, get whatever it is that you need, just one for the sake of, you know, environmental consciousness, because, you know, an autistic teenager told us that, you know, like, you know, I don't know, climate change bad.
Climate
Fucking
change.
what's her name?
Dude, fuck climate change. Fuck the cold weather. I want the globe to get warmer. I fucking hate the cold, okay? Let the globe get warmer. Fuck you. Climate change
Yeah.
activists, vegan, environmental motherfuckers. Fuck you.
I remember.
Let
funny-
this shit get warmer.
Yeah.
Bro, I
No,
remember
literally.
when before I transferred to Rutgers, right? So I actually went to a community college called Brookdale, where I basically went after Monmouth University. And so, yeah, I kind of jumped around a lot because, like, fuck college, fuck all these high prices. Greta fucking Thunberg. So back Greta Thunberg. So basically, my first speech that I ever gave on was actually climate change. This was when I was a fucking liberal. Okay.
That's
So-
fine. We all had a past.
Yeah. So we all have a past. And then I hear someone basically say, Sarah is the next Greta Thunberg. And I was like, oh no. No. I
never
always
mind.
hated her.
Maybe I'm not a liberal.
This was 3 years ago.
But you know, they make you, especially at that age, like they make it seem like you're fucking doing something so good by being an activist for that certain thing, you know? And like, and then they're like, oh, well, we have to give the government more power because they're gonna fix this certain thing. And that's how people college age become these fucking commies.
You want to know how we can actually like make sure these idiots don't freaking vote in these inflation bills into Congress? We elect good people in. We get good people in that are like liberty conservative minded, because all these motherfuckers are dumb as hell.
And to be like, I'm
Yeah.
so like, it's just not sustainable. And like, okay, and maybe this is my warped perception of it because I don't really know like a lot of people on welfare, but it's like if you're on welfare, from what I understand, you are getting money from the government, right? And so like you're kind of used to living off of a very low budget. Maybe you want to say like 1,400, 1,500 a month. For someone like me, I'm used to living off of like a $3,000 to $4,000 budget a month, right? Where I can like go to a trip and like, you know, do these things. And now all of a sudden everything is 30% more. And now I'm like, wait, I can't go fly out to California every 6 weeks. I can't go out and have fun on a Friday night. So it's like, I feel like it almost affects the middle class more than it affects people on welfare, because like it's, you have to actually change your lifestyle in order to like not spend as much because you can't afford it, when before I could afford it. And the people on welfare, they already couldn't afford it. I don't know. Is that like fucked up for me to say, or is that like,
no, it's not.
No,
Actually,
I mean, I get it. I mean, I can empathize with the whole concept of welfare and food stamps and WIC and things like that. Because I mean, like, I want to say in some states, I believe that there's a cap on how long you can stay on it. However, I know most states are no longer. Most states don't really, you know, they've lost some favor in that. However, you know, I mean, my family, you know, we were on government assistance for you know, a while. But like. And so, you know, in my opinion, if you need it for like, you know, a few years, like, you know, 2-3 years, and like, you know, in my opinion, I actually think that that would help stimulate the economy, because, you know, it gets you back up on your feet. It gets you back on, you know, back on track, all of this stuff. That's if you're actively trying. But a lot of more people nowadays are making more on unemployment and, you know, and things like that, because once you're off of welfare, the bracket that, you know, that you financially you know, meet, that's just above qualifying for welfare and things like that, you're still suffering. You're going to be, you're gonna be suffering more than when you were on welfare, because now you know. And so like I can understand absolutely why people stay on it, because it's fucking scary. Like I get it.
At least you have the comfort of knowing you can still live the same life. And I'm not saying that money matters. Like, don't get me fucking wrong.
It does. It does.
But it does. And
y'all know something absolutely fucking insane. Okay, so I don't know if everyone knows this, but New Jersey, our governor, he banned plastic bags. We're not allowed to use plastic.
California.
Yeah, California did that years ago.
Yeah.
Wait, for real? I had no idea.
Yeah, California did that.
God.
California did that
we
like
have
10
not
years
had
ago.
plastic bags for like 5 years.
That's fucking
Yeah,
dumb.
it's been a long time.
Bags. Yeah.
But
anyway, paper bags,
and
they cost like
what? Plastic bags? Ew, what?
Yeah, paper bags cost like, the paper bag costs like 50 cents. Like it's a lot.
15 cents, yeah.
So what's happening in New Jersey is that they have these like, what's it called? These bags, right? But it's like $2. So why the fuck should I be buying all these groceries that are very expensive, that have gone up, that the prices have gone up due to inflation? Now I have to buy a bag. So what my dad is doing right now, he's actually protesting against it.
Honestly though, that's fine, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, we're seriously worried about the environment right now, and like people can't even feed their family.
Guys, you know what we should do? We should just ban plastic and put paper straws instead.
Honestly, I have zero. And that's kind of what, like, I don't know. I know it's definitely like a first world problem, because like I've talked before about how like I've had a very privileged lifestyle. I mean, to be able to grow up in the Bay Area and just like kind of vibe up until I was like 24, and like, you know, I paid my mom a couple $100 a month for rent, but it was never anything that like broke the bank. Like I had a good fucking life, but it's like, am I not allowed to complain about like having to sacrifice things now because of these prices, because of you know what I mean? Like I'm used to going on these trips. I'm used to getting $100 a month massages. I'm used to like a certain lifestyle. And now I have to like step in, and maybe it's an ego check, but it's like I was working for that shit. You know, and it's not like it was being handed to me. I was still going to work. And yes, I lived with my parents up until I moved to Missouri at age 24. But it's like, I was still working. I was making a lot of money from a career up until for my whole life. Like when I was 22, I made $70,000 a year. You know, it's like I was still fucking working. So it's like, it's not like it's something that I didn't work for. yes, there was a lot of things handed to me, but it's like now I have to
So
sacrifice things that I'm used to simply because of the inflation. And it's like, I don't want to complain about not being able to get a massage or not being able to get my nails done, but it's like, that's still kind of like, well,
bro, I have not got my nails done forever, like, honestly, because I've been saving money on gas. Gas is literally
exactly.
what's
No,
killing
it's,
me.
and it sounds so fucked up. And like, it's such a privileged thing to complain about, but it's like, if you work hard,
Mhm.
be able to go and get that done and treat yourself, like, why the fuck is that an issue? And now all of a sudden you can't get it done because inflation is so high. You know what I mean? Like, well, fuck you. Like, it's annoying. Like, you should be able to complain about that if you want to complain about it. That's
Yo, so
if
Elon
that's
Musk
what
just
you work
tweeted,
for.
end the attack on straws.
Facts.
Amen.
Fucking stand him. It's his
Amen.
meme. It's his meme that he found. He's like, end the war on straws. And I'm just like, I love this man.
Because what the fuck are we're really gonna focus on straws?
I want to be his press secretary so bad.
Literally.
I tweeted that a few weeks ago, and then it showed up in an article, and I was like, "What? My tweets are in an article?"
Oh my god, that's so funny. You know, I'm still a little bit sad about getting my old account banned because like I had a couple of really cool follows. Like
Yeah.
I had like a Christian Walker follow, and like we haven't texted in a few months, so I'm scared to text him and be like, "Hey, follow my new account." I'm like, "Oh my god!" But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's disappointing. It's like,
I mean, who cares? Like, fuck it. Like, you
I
lost
know.
your account. Like,
I know. I'm just gonna text him and be like, "Hey," but it's just like I don't want to like bother these people that are like doing politics as a career, and I'm just like out here tweeting about like being a board housewife. But it's like,
Bro, I fucking
it's
wish
so
I was a housewife right
disappointing.
now.
It's so annoying. I think I got like into this depression mode yesterday over the government and just like how much everything sucks and like how much the government sucks. And it's like I just really realized like how much being on Twitter was like a source of a white pill because like you meet so many people that like agree with you and like so many, and not that followers matter, but it's like when you have someone with like 150,000 followers following you, like thinking that your opinions are good, it's like, well, what you're saying fucking makes sense. And I felt like I was very not alone. And then all of a sudden it's just like Twitter fucking bans my, like, that's the first time I got pissed off over like my account
So
being
how did you get banned? I forgot what happened.
they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. I was so it was like Tuesday we went to pick up the dog, and so all I was tweeting about on Tuesday and Wednesday was
Gabby.
that was it. And then my last tweet was like, I'm so obsessed with watching the Dog Whisperer show, LOL. And then I go back 30 minutes later and I typed out this whole thread about like how people who don't walk their dogs are like bad dog owners and all you have to do is walk the dog. And like it wouldn't send. And then all of a sudden it was like, your account's been suspended for violating the terms and conditions. And I was like, what the fuck did I tweet? Like, it's just, you are literally taking away like someone's, you know, livelihood. And like I don't really make money off of tweeting, but it's like I had a lot of connections and like follows and shit, and it's just like you don't want to bug people and be like, hey, follow me again, blah blah blah. It's just like annoying, you know. It's like
I get that.
it's fine. Like I mean, I kind of was a little bit over politics just because of how stressful it is. It's like I cannot sit there and like try to just tweet about politics and spend my time watching Joe Biden giving a fucking speech so that I can tweet about it. It's like
Dude, I don't even think I tweet about politics anymore. I mean, I do, but like it depends when if it's for work.
It like, fucks with me. It's like I hate the government so fucking much that it like fucks with my brain. And so
I
it's
just
like
want to
having
overthrow
to,
the government.
literally, but it's like if you sit there and you have to watch a Joe Biden speech just so you can tweet about it, do you know how fucking depressing that shit is? Like, I don't want to freaking watch Joe Biden talk. I hate Joe Biden. I don't want to watch him talk. I don't want to watch him give a speech. It fucking depresses me. So there's like certain aspects about like losing the account that I can't appreciate. But then it's also just like, dude, like, come on. Like, what did I really do? Like, I flipped off Jen Psaki on a picture a few days before I got suspended. Like, really? Like,
that might have been it. That might have been it.
Honestly, might have been it. Or like all of my MAGA trolls from when I was in Vegas. But it's like, really? Like that should not be a reason to get, especially in 2022, like you cannot say that people don't use social media as a livelihood. You know, it's just like it's so fucked up. And that's like yesterday I was like, damn, I really got my fucking account banned over some bullshit. I don't know what the fuck I did. I lost a lot of cool fault. Like it was such a white pill for me to be on Twitter and go online and like see all these people with like big names, like following me in mutuals, like talking shit about the government. And then it's just, you want to ban my account? Like, fuck you. I was so like, I was very depressed yesterday. I think it was also just because I was looking at cars and realizing all the cars I wanted were $30,000. And I was like, how the fuck am I going to afford this shit? But it's just like, everything hits you at once sometimes. And it's just like, how do you stay white pilled sometimes? Like, I don't know how you can even like go through life thinking
You
like,
know what was such a massive white pill for me? Like literally working in real life politics for once. So, what I'm doing right now, I'm working on a congressional campaign, and that is the most white pilling experience because number one, I get to meet
Fucking
all
hate
my
working
Twitter
with
mutuals in person. It was crazy. So I met one at this like school meeting. It was so weird. Yeah, it was like a board of ed meeting. So I met one of them there. Then I meet all of them at meeting greets, and I'm like, hold on. And the weirdest thing is, we had this conference a few weeks ago called A Seat at the Table, which one of my coworkers, Elizabeth Nader, shout out to Nader, she's great. Basically organized. And then one random person from Twitter comes up to me and they're like, "Are you Sarah?" And I'm like, how the fuck do you know me? And then they're like, yeah, I follow you on Twitter. I'm like, oh shit. So the weirdest thing is when you basically meet all your IRLs from Twitter in person. Well, yeah, when you meet all your Twitter people in person in IRL.
yeah.
So that was the weirdest, most wild shit to me.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I think in a lot of it too is like meeting people in real life. And I think at this point, it's like, as much as I don't want like politics to affect friendships, it's like you can't necessarily be friends with people who are just such on a different wavelength than you are. And so
Exactly.
I think it's a major white pill when you can actually hang around people that like fuck with what you say and like agree with you, or like you can have friendly disagreements about certain things. Like I've met a lot of liberals, but they're still like very cool and like can have a conversation. Like liberals who are super like pro 2A, but just like think if the government is going to be involved in shit, they need to fucking do it the right way. You know what I mean? Like I don't think like all liberals are awful people, but it's like it's so positive when you can like meet and hang out with people that are just on your like the same vibe. It's like,
you know what the weirdest thing is that I've noticed, which is actually very interesting? So the leftists at Rutgers, they hate me because I kind of made like I'm kind of like enemy number one right now at that freaking university. But when you go outside of Rutgers, like and you actually talk to liberals, they're not as insane as the leftists at Rutgers. The leftists at Rutgers are just in their own little personal bubble. So what's really interesting to know here is that university politics, it's a whole different level than in-person politics. Like yes, politics is dirty, but university politics is just full of child's play. It's full of people who are such little people and think they're better than you.
right. But like that's like just a very liberal mindset to have, I feel like, you know.
Yeah, I mean they're little people. Like they just literally can't think about anyone else other than their own conveniences. So, I mean, you know, that's literally abortion to a T. Like,
right.
Yeah. Oh God.
Know, so I mean,
yeah. Or
you know,
like,
it's that and like
it's like pronouns to a T. It's like you're really gonna be that
yeah.
offended because I called you a different pronoun. It's like, dude,
Bro, should we talk about do you guys want to talk about abortion?
Okay, yeah. So I'm curious. We've only been going 40, but we usually go in hours. So we can go a bit longer.
Okay.
I'm curious, like the Roe versus Wade thing. We talked about it a bit last week, but if anyone has like an update on anything they've seen, or possibly the baby formula shortage being connected to that, do you guys think that there is like a tie to? That was one of my questions. Talk about the baby formula shortage. Is like, is there like some sort of connection there?
I don't think there's a connection to
because I think
necessarily.
So
like call me conspiracy theorist, but I think there's a connection to Bill Gates and the baby formula because I saw an article, right?
I like that. Keep going.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bill Gates is a motherfucking asshole.
I'm
Fuck
also
him.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is making fake. Yes, that's what
Bill
I'm gonna say.
Gates,
Thank
fuck
you,
you,
Martha
you
Brown.
faking gay, derogatory gay motherfucker.
He's so
Yeah.
gay. He's gayer than
Well, I
the
mean,
word
like,
gay.
well, I mean, I'm trying to think. In 2020, I mean, people weren't having a lot of kids, and because of COVID now, and so like,
Oh.
and so a part of me also feels like, just from like a non-conspiracy theorist standpoint, even though like I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it like I
Because I
definitely
read some
probably believe
articles
that
about
conspiracy
it.
theorists more, but I mean, demand for formula has surged as like parents and stuff, and like hoarded it in 2020, I'm sure, and then demand immediately fell, and so like it's like through 2021, and so like now with more people and more mothers demanding more formula in 2022, orders are surging faster than supply is recovering. And so the third factor would probably also be America's like regulatory and trade policy. So that's probably what it is, to be honest.
Okay, here's
Um,
one thing. So I found an article stating that Bill Gates is heavily invested in lab-produced breast milk.
yep,
So
Yeah.
yep. I also
those two
would believe
factors.
I would believe that one honestly more than what I just said.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because so this article states that
Synthetic
Bill
baby,
Gates.
synthetic breast milk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh
That's
no,
just
you're good. You're good.
he
You're good.
makes me fucking sick. Like
He's
he wants everyone.
disgusting.
He wants. I mean, he wants America to be on basically like a synthetic meat diet. And I had seen something about it, and I was like, dude, this motherfucker literally. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I just drank a Sprite. So I'm like burping, but he literally wants us to be eating fucking fake food, putting all these fucking putting all this crazy shit into our bodies, and like I mean, this man literally wants to kill us, like, or at least turn us into something, or shorten our lifespan, or make us sicker in order to rely on his big pharma, and like I mean, he's just an evil motherfucker, and
Because it's
so
all about money. So it's all about money
oh
at the end of
yeah.
the day. Oh, we're probably
Well,
gonna get
yeah.
this banned off of YouTube by talking about conspiracy theories.
We
Oh, I
have
don't
yet
care.
to get a fucking video ban. We're on Odyssey. Drew fucking Hancock is the homie. He literally
I
the
love
first
him.
fucking stream,
I love
all of our
Drew.
videos are on Odyssey. So if we ever get banned, it's fine. Like, bitch, I got fucking banned off Twitter and I'm back and I'm already almost at 3,000 again. So fuck me. I'm not Liberty Thought though. I'm liberal thought. But whatever. Like, I just think Bill Gates. It's like Gabby, hush.
Gabby, can you show her to the camera? Yo, I want to see her.
Gabby hates Bill Gates though, for real.
She
Like,
should.
she
So
really
does my cat.
Oh my
He hates
god,
it.
she's so cute.
Hi, Gabby.
Wait, should I bring Andy? I'm bringing
Yeah,
Andy.
bring over animals.
Okay, I'm
We
bringing
need like a
Andy.
bit of a white pill because Bill Gates is awful. He's making fake meat. He's buying all the farmland, and he's just an awful person. And he's literally trying to ruin our
Yeah.
life. Baby girl, can you?
Yeah,
see?
I literally hate him.
I
Like
know.
him, I've never like. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I've never really like hated so many people versus like other than like
But I
him,
hate Bill Gates.
Nancy Pelosi, fucking the
Elizabeth
Clintons,
Warren.
both of them, Elizabeth Warren, and like those are some people who like if they croaked, I would be like fucking finally. Like
Yeah.
and mind you, I'm
Oh my
and
god,
mind
you're
you,
that brutal.
and like mind you, I'm like I have never ever wished that upon anyone ever, because like the thought of that I just think is so, I don't know, I just think it's really ugly, and like I'm not sitting here like wishing death upon anyone, but like because I mean I was even sad when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, because I mean like while I don't agree with her on a lot of stuff, like she was such an incredible mind, and I mean she brought so much value to the bench, and so and I mean Scalia even said the same thing, and so like and she was a historical figure, and she fucked some shit up, like both in good ways and in bad ways, but
Yeah.
it's just and so I was sad when she died. However, she's not a fucking maniacal twisted son of a bitch.
Right.
At least you can't be on the Supreme Court necessarily. It's harder to do that. And so,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, the one person though I want to croak, like I actually want to croak, is Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, no, she's fucking awful. I mean,
mm,
there's just so many bad people. And like, okay, so this was my other question is because like I want to kind of leave things on like a bit of a positive note because yesterday I was like literally like having fucking anxiety over just life, you know, like just being a new
Yeah.
young married couple, like and then the government being the reason that everything is so fucking expensive. It's like, how do you guys try to stay, like, I know you work in politics, Sarah. I know Julia is very informed. Like, how do you guys try to stay white pilled and like what is your hope? Like, shit's gonna hit the fan and then all of a sudden it's gonna get better. Like, I know that's kind of two questions, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So I guess how I could say is like there's a saying where things get worse before they get better, and that's the truth. But the problem is when it comes to like stuff, like inflation, when it comes to high gas prices or whatever, that's totally different because I believe that like yes, in general, things are supposed to get worse before they get better, but you can't just keep waiting for that. You need to make sure that that we are also saving the country as well. And that's why we need to basically put people into the system that are good, that will basically vote for us. I mean, like, for example, look at Rand Paul. Rand Paul literally said in front of, like, freaking, what's his face? Schumer's face, that my oath is to the United States Constitution, not to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And that shit
yeah.
is
Also,
fucking
like,
grave.
sorry, can we get a tax write-off on our tax dollars going to Ukraine?
Yeah.
No, literally. It's like
It's fucking whack. It's terrible.
I think it's coming to
Ukraine.
people's breaking point, and I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I do see a lot of people like waking up and being like, the government is not the answer. No matter what side you're on, the government isn't gonna make it better. And I do see a lot of people like more on my side than I expected, I guess, just like in everyday life, like going out and meeting people. It's like I think there are more people on our side, whatever you want to call that, than we think. And I think that's what gives me hope. I just don't want it to get to the point of like, I don't know if you guys have read Atlas Shrugged, but like I don't want it to get to that point before. It's so fucking funny. If people have read Atlas Shrugged, it's like Elon Musk is like one of the heroes that comes back from Atlantis and fucking saves everybody. It's just so fucking funny to me that like I actually see Atlas Shrugged becoming a real life thing right now. I'm like, do I trust Elon Musk? No. But do I trust him more than Bill Gates? Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's it.
I love Elon.
It's you really don't have an option at a certain point because our world is so fucked up that it's just like there has to come to a point where it's like I'm gonna choose this person over fucking Bill Gates, who is literally killing fucking African people with his vaccines and like doesn't give a fuck about anyone. It's like, who am I gonna pick? Elon Musk, because at least his tweets are based and funny, and it's like you just don't have a choice. And I think a lot more people are leaning that way. And that's what keeps me like white pilled, I guess. And like knowing that I'm not alone either, because like I started ranting in my group chat yesterday and like people were like, dude, I feel you. I just paid X amount for a truck. Like, you're not alone. Everyone is fucking struggling. And I think everyone struggles. I just hope instead of using them against hating each other, we start to actually hate the fucking enemy, which is like less than 1% of the world. You know what I mean? Like, fuck those motherfuckers. Fuck them. Like, people are waking up. We just have to remember people are waking up and we can't get black-pilled. We just have to fucking work hard. Yes, it fucking sucks, but do it.
Because that is the whole purpose of the American dream, is working hard. The American dream still exists, but we are losing it if we simply resort to socialism. For example, if we rely on big government, like, we are fucked. We will never like recover from that. Take a look at inflation. We relied on government support. Americans should not be relying on government support. We should be having energy independence. We should be having like independence ourselves, because that is how you achieve the American dream. That's how you keep your own fucking money.
Tea in the harbor for a reason, baby.
Hey.
For real, yeah.
And this is kind of why I basically I kind of took a step away from the liberty movement, because like I still believe that there is change in there, but like I don't.
Also, the liberty movement just fucking sucks.
So. Yeah, that's why I went to the America First movement. It's so much better there. Everyone's like nicer.
I'm like, I'll be honest, like I love all my fucking homies in the LP still, but it's like, dude, like I love Dave Smith, and I'm not talking shit on Dave Smith, but it's like if all the liberty movement has right now is Dave Smith, we need to do something more. And the
No,
reason I say
Andy
that
should run for president.
literally go for Andy. But Dave Smith, if he is the only non-autistic motherfucker that can actually make a point, and like Reed Coverdale and like Clint, like if those are the fucking people that we have that are not fucking autistic that can actually make a point, then we have a motherfucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I love those dudes, but it's like that is not enough in the liberty
Mhm.
movement. We need more people that can fucking do what they're fucking doing and know how to talk. And like we need to stop arguing about over petty fucking bullshit. Like the enemy is fucking coming and it's going to destroy families. And like we need more people to just be able to speak up and do what they're doing, or we're not gonna fucking make it. So
Also,
Yeah, no, I
a good
agree.
example of someone speaking up is the kid I'm working for, Phil Rizzo. So everyone should check him out and donate to his campaign because we are taking
I
out
put
the
Twitter,
establishment.
I'll put it on the thing.
Oh, thank you. He's great. Shout out to Phil Rizzo. He's
No,
based.
Phil Rizzo's based. I love like, and honestly, like at this point, I would rather have a conservative than a liberal. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I was pretty like, I had become pretty like black pilled in the last like maybe like 4 years. And
Ooh.
yeah,
like in the last like 4 years, I would say I was pretty like white pilled the majority of my life, but I became black pilled, like hella black pilled, probably like yeah, like 4 years ago. And it was just I just was so like dooming, like my the way that I was thinking and stuff like that. And but honestly, and our society has only gotten worse. And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie to you, this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but honestly, these crazy ass liberal motherfuckers have made me more trad than I've ever been in my life.
Yes, this is true. This is the same thing
dude.
with me.
And
As a fucking
honestly,
former OnlyFans whore, I agree with you 100%.
like I like literally like you thought I was radicalized because my parents fled communism. Oh, now I'm fucking radicalized. Like, I just oof, like it
Yeah.
just really fucking grinds my gears, my guy.
Yeah, because this is not normal. Seeing girls stuff like abortion pills in their fucking mouths and thinking
Yeah,
it's
dude.
protesting, thinking it's making a difference, that fucking radicalizes you. Seeing a whole bunch of seeing boys being put in
Also,
girls' locker rooms is
yeah.
is basically radicalizing myself. That's why like I've low key become more conservative over time.
Yeah, same. And I
Yeah,
just
me
have to say,
too.
like, I think, I don't regret my past doing OnlyFans. I don't regret the Liberty Thought thing because I think it's just like stupid to regret like a part of you.
It's
That was like
true.
a big thing in my life for a long time. But as someone who is now married, is kind of living the trad life, like I just sit at home, I clean, I fucking vacuum, take care of the dog. Like, I think a lot of people are upset because they're just not happy. And I don't know if it's just like the trad in me that's come out, but like women are supposed to like have a family. And like I'm trying so hard to get pregnant. I know you're not supposed to announce that you're pregnant for 3 months, but honestly, the fucking second I take a positive pregnancy test, I'm probably gonna post that shit on Twitter because I'm gonna be so fucking happy. It's just like
As you should, dude.
As you should.
that's something that's missing from like women these days. And I thought for so long, like when I was doing the OnlyFans thing, when I was doing the fucking haha, I'm a whore, it's so funny. Like I thought that that's what I wanted, and I don't regret it because at the time I did want that. But like now that I have the opposite, it's like that's what's missing is like people don't value just like life has to be like a family. And I see
Fills
that.
a void. Like it fills a void that you did not
And
realize you were
I was
missing.
happy before. I was happy before, and that's why I don't regret like doing what I did. But now I'm so much happy in a different way that like I can't explain until you get married and have kids. Like there's just a certain thing that does for you that I think
Yeah.
satisfies human nature at the core. And
Yeah,
so
no, I
I just
agree.
think we've gone
Just
away
start
from it.
evolution.
Yeah, and that's it. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying girls who do OnlyFans like can't have a family and shit. That's not what I'm saying. But for me, I couldn't do both. And so I wasn't able to feel one without letting go of the
Hold
other.
on, I'm gonna grab my laptop charger. My laptop's at like 15%.
No,
One
you're
sec.
good. But like that's just like I think society has like so gone away from that. And I think there's such an important reason in the conservative movement that the family thing matters because there's
This is Andy, so Andy's gonna replace me for 1 sec.
but I
Yeah,
just
no,
don't know,
agreed.
like I don't know why society is going away from it. Maybe because it's so expensive to have kids and you have to like, you know.
Well, I mean, I think one of the reasons why people are straying away from it is literally, I think it, and mind you, just hear me out for a second. I think
Of
it
course, of
again
course.
is rooted in Bill Gates. Like, because I mean, he wants to control the population. He wants to, I mean, hurt our health. Like, more people are now infertile than we've ever been in our lives. And, we're injecting all this shit into ourselves. And, I just like, it just, and I think honestly, with big media and all that shit, like people have literally been brainwashed that it is bad to have children, and when
Yeah.
it's not,
And there's nothing that I want more than to have babies. Like
yeah,
I want
and I think
like
like
so fucking bad. You guys have no idea.
yeah,
I just want to have like 2 or 3 kids. Like I'm hoping, and I'm scared because of my past that like karma. I don't really believe in like a religious God, but like karma is gonna be like, haha, you fucked around so much, you did so much, and like we're not gonna let you have babies. But it's like
no,
I just, I want it so bad. I think it's gonna happen for me, and I hope that it does. And I will stop the second you guys see me stop drinking on these live streams. It's gonna be for a reason. Like
yeah,
I'm already seeing a difference because you seem a lot happier. You seem like more down to earth.
and it's like something that I think a lot of people they're finding false satisfactions in their life, and I don't think there was anything wrong with me finding those false satisfactions. I just think like at the time you don't realize that it's false, and it takes a lot of growing and a lot of like realizing this is not going to make me happy in 10 years to be fucking selling my tits for money. Like it's just not going to make me happy. And
Andy got scared when you said that.
you should be scared. Don't fucking do what Liberty Thought did, okay?
Yeah, don't Andy, listen, don't do what Liberty Thought did, okay?
Yeah, and I have no issue. And again, there's a lot of girl porn stars out there who are married and have kids, and that's awesome. But it's very, very hard to like do both. I'm just saying,
yeah,
The second I moved to Missouri, I was like, I can't do that shit anymore. I'm married. I need to like focus on other things because that was like something I was doing to like fill a void. And I think it's okay to admit that, but like,
yeah,
the void is filled because people are supposed to be. I mean, since caveman times, it's been a man and a woman together getting married and surviving together. And that's
Exactly.
what life is.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
I
that's what
agree
it's
one
supposed
hundred
to be. And
percent.
so, like, for the conservative movement to push that, I kind of get it. Do I think it should be involved in politics? No. But, like, just look at people
Yeah.
like me. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
much fucking happier knowing that I'm poor and I'm broke right now and we're fucking struggling to eat. I don't fucking care. I'm happier now than I was before having all the money and shit. Like, it doesn't fucking matter to me. So,
Yeah, and I mean, like, in all honesty, like, because of how like radically pro-life I am, a part of me, like, I don't know,
This is why people hold on. This is what wait, what did he say?
Need to be-
This is why people need to be free to make mistakes and learn. Yes.
exactly. And then admit that they were wrong and like move on from it. Like again, I'm not ashamed, but like it's okay that I did that because society pushes on you that it's okay to like not want to have kids and just like be sexy and be a thought. And like I'm still gonna be sexy. I'm still gonna fucking post my bikini pictures and my ass pictures and shit. And I'm gonna have my husband take them. But like, there's nothing
as it should be.
Yeah, there's nothing in it except for like it's just a fun moment. It's not like giving me like satisfaction of missing something, because what's missing is having a family. And I really hope that every girl out there like that wants a family just know that it's going to happen at the most least expected time. I mean, people know that me and Noah got married literally a month after meeting each other in person.
That's crazy.
And I think the reason that it happened so crazy for me and like my life had to shift so dramatically is because my life was so dramatic and out there before. There would have been no other way to fucking do it. Like there was no way I was gonna date some dude for 2 or 3 years and then get engaged. It was gonna be like you're a thought and then all of a sudden you're married and a tribe wife. Like that's it. There's no in between. But that was just me, and it can happen different for everybody. But you know, that's okay. But it's important. I think it's important for women to have kids or have something that fulfills them so much that they can be satisfied without kids, whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I honestly, I would love to adopt or foster. I would absolutely love to do that
Me
because
too.
like, because I mean, like, one, mind you, I don't know if I would like. I mean, I'm open, absolutely open to the possibility of having my own biological children, of course. But mind you, I haven't met the person where I'm like, wow, like I absolutely want to have kids with you. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm just kind of like, oh, like, I don't know, right? But I'm not like completely closed off to it. But then again, like, I don't know, it would just, I just
With
like,
me, like I've noticed, like there is just as long as hookup culture exists, like our society has fallen, and here's why:
I
because
fucking hate
there's so
hookup
many
culture.
guys who just want to fuck around and just like basically,
Well,
I don't know, like
yeah.
basically cut you off. It's sad. It's
They
ridiculous.
want to use you. They want to use you without facing any consequences. And in my opinion, that's why I also believe Bill Gates is a big birth control supporter.
Yes. Yeah, because you're fucking popping shit so that any dude can fucking come in you and you don't get pregnant. And it's like I've never taken birth control. I've taken a couple plan Bs, but it's like I'm never fucking taking that shit again. That shit is so
I know girls who've had
it's like
severe
they don't
allergic
want you to repopulate.
I'm actually allergic to birth control. I'm actually allergic to almost any antibiotic. Like it's weird. I'm like when it comes to basically when I have medical conditions, I stay away from antibiotics. Antibiotics, I hate those type of medicines. I'm more of like a natural healer and I'm more into herbs and I believe in keeping a healthy immune system. So that's just me. But no, I don't trust birth control for my life.
No, don't. I took a couple shots when I was like 18, 19, and I'm like, honestly, I'm fucking scared that that's the reason that I'm not going to be able to have a kid. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I'm pregnant soon. Like, we've been trying, so we'll see. Because it's just like, I know we're not in the best financial situation, but that's what women are supposed to do is have kids. I think a lot of women are supposed to have kids and just won't admit it. And that's not everybody, but family, that structure is so important because that's what's been existing since like caveman times, like
since Adam and Eve.
I get it.
Literally. Like there has to be something about like having a family that just like satisfies people. And I can't explain what it is, but it's like you want it. But you also just you can't force it either.
Also, like what I've noticed is that so today, well, I think it was yesterday or today, like so the Senate Democrats, they tried I knew a girl in high school who had 7.
Fucking crazy.
Holy
I know a girl who had 3.
It's like what pisses me off about abortions is because like I want to be pregnant so bad and like y'all are out here fucking killing your kids. Like fuck you, bitch. Like
speaking of abortions, so basically the Senate Democrats tried to pass a bill to codify Roe v. Wade. It wasn't to lessen it. It was to basically outlaw any Republican voting on basically either restricting it or banning it in their state. And it wasn't passed because the Senate Republicans voted against it. So you should have seen Kamala Harris's face when she got the results. Like she was one that freaking announced it. Fuck Kamala.
Fuck Kamala. She's the fucking worst.
She's a fucking hoe. That's literally what she is. She basically, And basically that was to legalize abortion up to birth. So if you were like 9 months pregnant, you could get an abortion. That's murder.
That's murder. It's murder after 3 months. And I feel like we have the abortion. And I feel like the abortion, like why we all get so emotional about it is for a different reason. You know what I mean? Because it's like someone out here who thinks they're infertile trying to have a baby. Juliana talked about it last week, like being in the pro-life movement. Sarah just being fucking Sarah, queen of every view of like all her views.
No, you know
what I mean? Like, it's just so like fucked up. It's it's hard to see.
I literally think these are all tied to each other.
Yeah.
Look at like shortages of baby formula. That's tied into Bill Gates 100%. But basically, the whole abortion, like legalizing abortion up to 9 months, that has to be tied into organ harvesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's so
Yeah.
much fucked up shit, and it's like people will look at you and be like, "Oh my god, you're fucking crazy." But I'm like, why do you think like society is trying to normalize like killing kids? Like, fuck you. There's obviously a deeper meaning, or like putting the fucking aborted fetus cells in the vaccines. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Oh no,
It is,
it's 100%
absolutely.
real. That's
It's
why I'm not getting the
sacrifice.
boosters.
It's literally fucking satanic to like have children be sucked up. I watched Euphoria. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
Yeah, I
Like,
have. I've seen both seasons.
Closing comments on it, but when the fucking girl got like an abortion, it was like so triggering as like someone trying to get pregnant, and it was like, why the fuck? And then like just they never talked about it in the rest of the series. I was like, maybe we should talk about like why abortions are so like bad for people and like
And
how
they
they
just
fuck you up.
Yeah.
But you're just like having the fucking whore white girl get an abortion and going on with her life. Like, fuck that show. Fuck all of it. It's literally
Disgusting.
human satanic sacrifice. And I don't get it. I don't get why it's so normalized. And I don't get why people are proud to say they're pro-abortion. Because like I know someone who had an abortion and it was very hard for her. And so like I don't judge her, but she's also not going around being like, hey, yeah, pro-abortion. Everyone kill their baby. You know what I mean? Like it was a hard decision for her to do that.
Yeah, it's not pretty, and it's traumatizing for the woman herself.
And she had apparently talked to like a psychic, whatever you guys believe, right? She talked to a psychic, and that psychic told her that she was supposed to have 2 kids. The psychic also talked to her cousin, telling her cousin that she was going to have 3 kids. And then her cousin couldn't get pregnant again. And it was like, oh, well, because I actually did have 3 and I aborted 1. So when the psychic talked to her, they said she was going to have 2. She has 1 and then 1 that she aborted. And so like, you could just tell when she was telling me that, like, it was so hard and not easy.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And so it's like
Yeah.
the fucking people that had to get an abortion and didn't realize what they were doing, it's hard on them. And they don't fucking go around posting shit like, everyone abort your baby, because it's fucking hard on a woman to do that. And I don't blame her. I have no hate for her at all. She's one of the best fucking people I've ever met. But it's just like,
Yeah.
let's talk about what we're doing and how it's gonna fuck you up.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
So true.
But fuck abortion. Fuck the government.
Fuck the government. See, this whole abortion debate, this whole
Please.
transgender like trans debate and all this stuff. Like me being against putting boys in girls' locker rooms does not mean I'm transphobic. This just means that I'm well informed of what's really happening here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't know why people think you're not well informed. Like it's like
You'd be surprised if I say this in my university class, everyone's gonna look at me like I'm a transphobic.
yeah.
It's ridiculous. You'd be very surprised. And that's why we basically just, number one, we form coalitions. Like we literally form coalitions of groups of people who are against all this stuff to make society normal again. It's going to take generations to fix up what we're seeing in America right now. But if we don't start now, then when will we ever? Like,
Right.
when will there be change? So it's like up to our generation to fix all this whack ass shit. And being against what's happening doesn't make you transphobic. It doesn't make you like freaking controlling of women. It doesn't. It just means that you see what's happening. You see women being impacted by this, and you want to make sure it doesn't go way at hand, because our freaking representatives should not be normalizing abortions up to birth. That's literally fucking murder. These people have lost their fucking mind.
Like, if someone was to carry a baby in their womb until 5 or 6 weeks, and then the baby, God forbid, I don't remember what it's called when the baby dies in the womb, but miscarriage, right? I don't know, but I thought later on it was called something else. But so miscarriage at a late term, I would still birth my miscarriage baby. You know, I wouldn't. It's like, I'm sorry, fucking sucks with miscarriage. But if you're 7 months pregnant, you either have to get the C-section and get it out, or you know what I mean? Like, or birth it. And that's just the shitty
Yeah.
fucking thing about life. But like, there's no reason. Like, an abortion also, when you have a miscarriage, is extremely different than, you know. I don't get
Yeah.
why people are the way they are.
I agree, bestie. I
Stillborn.
agree.
That's what my mom said. Stillborn. Yeah, when it's like later in the trimester. That's what the word I was looking for. But
Yeah.
that's kind of all I have to say. I feel like I've been ranting for.
Hi, Kitty. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. What's his name?
His name is Tora. It means tiger in Japanese.
Gabby, you want to come say bye?
Boy. He's a good boy. I love him.
Look at Andy. So Andy has been over here chewing on pens. This is his favorite toy.
Hi, honey. Oh, you
You
want
want
to say hi?
She's
Hi.
glad I grabbed her from her pork ear.
Oh, yeah, is Gabby a puppy?
She's about to be 5 months.
It's Andy, 7 years old.
Aww.
Wendy's an old man.
I know, right?
Baby girl.
Okay, so before we log off, these are our pets. They're the backyardigans.
Good. We kind of winged it a little bit, but
We
Hannah
really
should
did.
be back next week. We love Sarah. Thank you for filling in for
Of
Hannah.
course, I love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Too. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. We should be back Wednesday.
Yes,
Bye.
besties. Deuces.
Bye.
Deuces.